All righty, let's move on to Boston College Eagles, 3-1, 2-1 in the ACC at Virginia Tech Hokies, 2-1, 2-1 in the ACC. BC's opened up the year with wins over Duke, Texas State, and a thrilling 31-30 overtime win at home to Pittsburgh this past weekend. The lone loss came to now number 5 ranked North Carolina at home, 26-22. Hokies opened the season with wins over NC State and Duke before losing to North Carolina this past weekend, 56-45. So both teams have played Duke and North Carolina. The Hokies have allowed 488.7 yards a game. Boston College here, 10.5-point dogs. There's 11s on the board. There's a 12 on the board. This total sitting at 60 with no movement. CMac, Boston College, Virginia Tech, take it away.
Just as you said, Jimmy, these teams seem pretty even. You just talked about it. They've played similar foes. I was on Boston College last week. Right here is just too many points. Virginia can't stop anybody. So take it at 11. Take it now. Take Boston College. And I'd lean the over. I don't know if I want to play it here. Overs were good to me this week and this last week, but I'm going to wait on that. But I love the points here. I like Jerkovich. Boston College, like I said, they don't have the same old school line, run it, but he can throw it around. And Virginia Tech just hasn't been able to stop anybody. They will put up points too, but I just think it's too even. I think the line's way too inflated here at this number. Give me BC and the points.
BC and the points. Dutch Boy Fresh says, BC, the only team I feel good about back, and they cash easy week after week for me. That scares me. It scares me so much.
I know.
But, hey, calling back to him last week. He wants to back him again here, plus the points. Let's go over to Nolly Knows. Boston College Eagles versus VTech Hokies.
Yeah, I mean, with Boston College, I've been riding their unders. Took a loss on the last week, and here going against Virginia Tech, a bit scarier to take an under. You talked about it, how much they've been able to give up, 484 yards of total offense per game. That screams awful to me. So at Boston College, I mean, they are a rowdy bunch. They will battle in most of these games, and that's what you've seen. They've been able to cover the spreads and by a good margin. They're 3-1 against the spread, and here against Virginia Tech, I think Virginia Tech's offense has too much for them for Boston College to win. But I would agree with trying to take the points here. And as far as the total, I mean, it's 60s. 60 seems a bit low for Virginia Tech, but the adjustment is for Boston College and the pace at which they play at. The inability for them to run the ball is something that it scares me to try to take an under here. So I would lean over, but I'm just off this game as well.
Off this game for Nolly Knows. This is going to be the last game we break down. We are then going to get best bets from the guys here, best bets. And don't forget, we have our Saturday morning show, 10 a.m. Eastern now. That's 2 hours before kickoff for the 12 o'clock games. So we are Monday and Saturday for college football. And we are also, I know everybody wants to hear what Nolly's doing for playoff baseball, which pops off here in about 40 minutes. So we'll get that information as well. All right, Boston College v Tech. Connor on Boston College, possibly the over. Nolly Knows staying off. John Ryan, Boston College, Virginia Tech.
Yeah, this is a game I can't figure out. I'll be dead honest with you. I couldn't believe Virginia Tech would be favored by this amount after the way Boston College played in their win last week over Pitt. It doesn't add up to me. When I'm that far off on the game, then I really don't want to play it. And the Pittsburgh game was one of those weird games of our 2020 year too. You had a 58-yard kick to tie the game, which was a school record by the kid from Pittsburgh. And then he misses an extra point in overtime, that's the difference of the game, 31-30. So Pittsburgh was a 6.5-point favorite in that game. Arguably, they could have possibly pulled it out and come from behind and won it. But Boston College has to be feeling good about themselves and the way they've been playing, and they're 3-1, and they're going down to play Virginia Tech, who's 2-1. They might just go down there and want to prove who's boss. So I don't understand that 11.5. It's just too much for me to make an opinion one way or the other.
Understandable. So we have CMac backing Boston College, and Nolly knows off, and CMac off.